I'm Randy Berg. I am chair of the Santa Barbara South Coast Chamber of Commerce, and we are delighted that you are here today to share this event. This is our 5th annual State of the County, and this afternoon, amazing. And this afternoon you will hear from the County Chief Executive Officer, Mona Miyasato, our new First County Supervisor, Roy Lee. We brought in a kind of a stand-up humorist disguised as an economist that lives in the region. So Peter Rupert will be giving us his venerable and always insightful thoughts on the macro economy. And we're going to close with a fireside chat with Laura Capps. And I want to give you a tip. She's got a surprise ending. You don't want to miss the surprise ending. Can you give it up for our esteemed guests? Okay, when the South Coast was formed 5 years ago, the South Coast Chamber had a unique opportunity to bring the North and the South County together. So the merger of several organizations brought together a number of initiatives, and the State of the County is a way that we get to talk about that. And so we're delighted that you would join us. And as much as I'm teasing about the talking, that's a lot of the magic, was us meeting together to talk about that, and Santa Barbara's great at it. We saw the opportunity to bring these voices together across the entire South Coast, and in collaboration with our North County partners, we've taken a more holistic look at the county economy. We want to talk about that. A good chamber reflects the community that we live in. It serves the community, and that means we show up, we listen, we respond to the realities. You're doing that. Give yourself a hand. We represent the businesses and the families that are impacted by those businesses, and we want to care for them. I'm especially delighted and give a shout out to those nonprofits that make an effort to come and be a part of our chamber, and especially are here today. In the past year, our team has worked hard to lay the groundwork for sustainable economic thriving and economic development, and I want to highlight a few of those efforts. First, we all grump about housing. It's a real deal. We've explored creative models like employer-sponsored housing consortium, and we've published a way to get out of this conundrum. We're looking for partners. And we're hoping to help the talent that lives here in all sectors to be able to stay. The model and others can be found in our publication called The Road Home. It's a report that puts a spotlight between the housing challenges and our workforce's living situation. Second, the Precision Manufacturing Career Pathways Program is funded by a grant from Uplift Central Coast. This is a major investment in workforce development. We all know those people that aren't even aware of the jobs that are out there. We want to not only make them aware, but train them. This supports students in underserved communities by preparing them for and connecting them to high-demand, quality jobs around our region that we live in. Finally, the Electricity Working Reliability Group, which is convened, was tackling power instability and serious challenges to business that are we are drawing a lot of power and creating a big challenge for our partners Edison, and we want to work together to solve that. As a result, we published Power On, a paper that outlines the impacts and solutions needed to improve reliability and support economic resilience in this region. Each of these initiatives points to the same goal: strengthening the economic foundation of Santa Barbara so that people and businesses can thrive and work together and live together. At the Chamber, we're beginning to shape the next 5 years. I'm excited about a strategic plan. That economic development is the heart of our mission. And we're proud to work alongside all the cities and the counties and the nonprofits and all of the institutions that serve us, from the hospitals to the educational institutions, as we develop a vision with resolve to make this the best place to live. We're calling on the County Board of Supervisors and the county staff to deepen that engagement. They've been great. We want to keep going. It's an active partnership designed for future regional thriving. Because of the challenges that we face, from workforce to infrastructure gaps, they're urgent and they're interconnected and they need to be solved. We, the people in this room, can do that. Thank you for joining us, and now I would like to introduce my friend, my president, and the esteemed leader of the Chamber of Commerce, Kristen Miller.
Thank you, Randy. I am delighted to be here today for our 5th annual State of the County. I can't believe it's been 5 years. I am really proud of the work we've done, including what Randy mentioned earlier. As we accomplish one goal, another challenge and opportunity emerges. The Chamber resolves to be nimble, to respond, to pivot, to change course, and address the needs of our businesses and our community. Last year, during this very event, we discussed an alarming statistic. Santa Barbara County ranks number 2 in the state for the highest poverty rate. The second largest percentage of people living below the poverty line. This wasn't the first time we had seen the statistic, but for some of us in the room that day, for many of us, it landed differently in that moment. It hit us hard because we live in a region known for its beauty, its wealth, its world-class amenities. And that day, the data told a different story, one of deep economic disparity. It was a bit of a wake-up call. How could a place with such abundant opportunity also be home to such persistent struggle? And the contradiction became clear. Thousands of people living in poverty, and the Chamber working with hundreds of businesses who have many, many jobs going unfilled, especially in sectors with tremendous growth potential. We're in the position to connect those dots. The realization that day prompted a shift in how we think about our work and gave our economic development efforts a new sense of urgency and clarity. Over the past year, we've worked to align our strategies with that why. Earlier this year, the Chamber earned a grant from the Uplift Central Coast Catalyst Program for our project, as Randy mentioned, Precision Manufacturing Career Pathways for All. This initiative, alongside our partners, fosters connections to build a talent pipeline that supports regional economic growth and offers rewarding career opportunities for students, particularly those in underserved communities. This effort has deepened our relationship with you, with educators, with employers, and all of the local agencies working on this problem. This is work that matters. And it's why economic development is more than a strategy, it's a moral imperative. When we get this right, when we connect people to opportunity, we don't just improve the local economy, we change lives, we shape our community. This brings me to a very, very hopeful part of our story. We're proud today to share this year's brand new unveiling of our Techtopia video. This is a video produced in partnership with the City of Goleta, thank you very much, and Lure Digital, thank you very much. It's a look at an industry that's driving innovation, creating quality jobs, offering young people in our county a path towards something better. With that, please join me in welcoming Lure Digital, who will introduce this fabulous video. Thank you.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Kai. I'm the founder of Lure Digital, and this is Bria, our creative director. We're a video marketing agency, so we create commercials, corporate films, and social media content. Many of our first clients were startups in the tech sector. As they grew, we grew. And we learned how to create videos and photography that showcase their stories of innovation, collaboration, and connection. Were it not for the tech industry, we would not be standing here today. and we feel we should continue to help support and promote tech industries in our county. Not only do we find it an important pillar of the South Coast, but pivotal in continuing to move us all forward.
With that, it is important for us to understand our challenges and our strengths as a community. And one strength we have is our technology pipeline, the one from education to workforce. Ahead of the Techtopia Summit for 2025, we're here to give you a preview of that Techtopia video that highlights just how important that pipeline is. We at Lure are very proud to support the South Coast Chamber of Commerce in marketing Santa Barbara County as a world-class destination for tech. So, without further ado, please be the first to enjoy our video for Techtopia 2025.
This is Techtopia.
This is Techtopia.
This is Techtopia.
This is Techtopia.
Welcome to Techtopia, here on the Santa Barbara South Coast, where technology and education meet innovation. This is Techtopia.
Google Quantum AI is a subset of Google, and our mission is to create the best-in-class quantum computer that can solve otherwise impossible problems. I think every day is an exciting tech innovation at our company. We very recently announced Willow, which is our 105-qubit device that's comparing very favorably to a lot of different hardware modalities. This got national attention and just further proved a point that Santa Barbara is a hub for technical excellence.
I'm Shuji Nakamura. I'm a CEO of Blue Laser Fusion. Laser Fusion is developing laser nuclear fusion technology. Especially, we are developing high-power lasers for laser nuclear fusion.
Our goal for this year is to demonstrate a kilojoule class laser. I really appreciated that Shuji didn't want to just stick with what everyone else was doing and taking a unique approach.
Because we got a great idea to increase laser power using totally new idea of optical enhancement cap. That's the reason we founded the company.
Curvature is an infrastructure lifecycle management organization, and we sell infrastructure. However, our total brand helps customers manage their IT lifecycle, from support to hardware and then managed and monitoring services. We do a ton of innovation to be in this space and to kind of keep up to speed with all of the technology that is being distributed. We're constantly innovating and learning new platforms, and we're global around the world. So a lot of what our customers are dealing with are cutting edge problems that we're solving real time. So one of the big things we're working on right now is liquid cooling, finding a way to immerse our products in a product that allows those environments to operate at high potential.
Folio is a SaaS company that builds software for the real estate industry. We're really excited about the work we're doing with our RealmX platform. This is a platform that uses generative AI to not only solve problems for our customers, but we are looking at agentic capabilities around how do we take work off our customers' plates. We believe that innovation is the driver of success, and we are solving really challenging problems.
Our company's name is Space Exploration Technologies. You use space as a tool to help you on Earth. So SpaceX is launching Earth observation satellites to monitor our climates, our oceans, and how our Earth is changing. And then we're also launching deep space science probes that help us learn about the universe and tell us about ourselves. In addition, we've started to build a communications network in low Earth orbit called Starlink. That's providing broadband internet from space to anywhere on Earth.
The office here focuses on helping generative AI and LLM applications be more intelligent about the world about them by providing them with factually accurate, trusted, and up-to-date information from all sorts of different sources like weather, business, sports, you name it. The team here is working and hiring to provide great AI solutions via Amazon products and services, as well as those we power through Amazon Web Services, and that supports our customers all over the world, whether you use the retail shopping site or Alexa Plus.
At Cox Communications, we love being an integral part of the community, both providing the infrastructure and connectivity our businesses need to thrive and investing in the community as a whole. The South Coast is home to businesses large and small, and we have some incredible work being done here on the technology front. In fact, Cox's first 100 gig customer in the country is here in Goleta.
Santa Barbara is a world-class destination for tech, blending a vibrant entrepreneurial spirit with a collaborative community.
Santa Barbara has the most incredible talent. It really gets fostered out of the education system with UCSB and Santa Barbara City College.
That pipeline, I think, is what creates like that vigor or that real drive in innovation, is because it is like young, fresh minds ready to do the work and push bounds.
Santa Barbara is Curvature's headquarters because of what we can do in our community.
A great resurgence in kind of local community activating.
Making sure there's great connections is extremely important, and I think the Chamber and the local government's in a unique position to foster that.
We're kind of hitting a point where places like Santa Barbara will be the future.
The Santa Barbara South Coast is a world-class destination for tech. Learn more at sbscchamber.com. That's us. That's you. That's amazing. I'm so proud of that. It's incredible, the technology and innovation that we have right here in our backyard. Did you love it? Can I hear one more round? As you know, great events like this one, where we can debut our Techtopia video and hear from our elected leaders, would not happen without the support of our sponsors. We're extremely thankful for all of your continued and growing support from the business community. And I'm going to start today by thanking and introducing our presenting sponsors, who each get to share a few words with you. A special thank you to Ritz-Carlton Bacara for hosting today's event. It's my pleasure to introduce Bradley Kantz, General Manager.
Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon. Just a housekeeping item. On our table, somebody left a, what's his name? The Fugitive, Harrison Ford video. So if this is yours, you're going to have to pry it out of the hands of Susan Kroll, our Assistant Director of HR. So I've got it at the table if you left it there inadvertently. So. Oh, it's yours? Okay, we found the owner. It's Teddy's. Hope you enjoy his new drink. It's fabulous. So, well, I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the Ritz-Carlton Bacara. I'm Bradley Kantz, the general manager of this fantastic resort. Before I say a little more about us, because I think I got the memo yesterday. It said I had 2 minutes. I said I need 4. So I'd like to thank Kristen Miller and her group of fantastic ladies and gentlemen for the Chamber. Their incredible support, not just for our resort, but for all the local businesses that we are incredibly grateful for. So thank you, Kristen, your team. Big round of applause. Thank you. We like to think that we're truly the Santa Barbara's most iconic resort village, beloved for the effortless blend of classic hacienda style, natural beauty, and soulful California spirit. When I got here, I was remembering that I learned it's not so much what you can't do, it's not so much what you can do, it's what you can't do here. So the beauty, the beaches, the pools, natural golf, the scenery, culinary excellence. We're a destination where the climate is some of the most gorgeous, some of the most best in the world. And let's not forget some of the best wine country in the world here in Santa Barbara. When people come here, they leave thinking, when can they come back? About the resort, a little bit to tell you, we're celebrating this year our 25th anniversary. Only 8 of those years have we been at Ritz-Carlton. We just completed a resort-wide remastering where we have a thoughtful enhancement to elevate the guest experience while staying true to the natural beauty of rich culture of Santa Barbara. These improvements reflect our commitment to excellence and our vision of being the premier luxury destination on the California coast. Our designer was Meyer Davis. He envisioned the hotel as a modern retreat inspired by the architecture of early haciendas. The aim was to honor the spirit of the California style so that each detail from textured materials to sculptural forms was selected to feel both the enduring, guiding guests through the space with quiet intention. Every guest room has been redesigned and captures the spirit of the American Riviera. Throughout the entire design, you'll see the interiors are infused with a relaxed glamour that makes elegance feel effortless amid a calming palette of terracotta, lush green, and natural shades of sand and stone. The rooms and suites include carved stone, aged leathers, and natural woven textures, along with area rugs inspired by chumash motifs, headboards with custom fabrics that are inspired by California's horse blankets. Our guests are welcomed in a refreshed arrival experience that feels a lot less like a lobby and more like stepping into an old friend's casita, warm, welcoming, and refined. One of the most anticipated elements of the resort's enhancements has been our restaurants and bars. The refreshed concepts draw on local and global cues centered on regional produce and seafood served exceptional cuisine year-round. We have Miyasato, which just opened. It's our coastal Italian cuisine open for dinner. Lulio, which is now a Mediterranean offering, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. O-Bar and Terrace, which is our coastal California Mexicali cuisine, open for lunch and dinner. Mission Market, which has moved closer to the hotel. Incredible offering of delicious coffees, pastries, some wonderful sandwiches and salads for lunch. And last but not least, visit the pool. Sun Bar now has fresh salads, handheld classics, alongside with shareable items. We also renovated all our pools, reimagined our poolside luxury cabanas. Kristen, you'll have to try that out very soon. Please take a walk at night. See our new landscape, all our new lighting at night. The grounds are just simply beautiful. A couple best moments. Every Ritz-Carlton in our, we have about 106 now, have a defining moment, something that every Ritz-Carlton does in their hotel. And so when I arrived here about a year ago, I wanted to capture the rich history of Santa Barbara, and I also wanted all of our guests to experience it. So you're truly some of the first to learn about what our inauguration on September 16th is going to do, and that's our anniversary for the 25th year of this existence of Bacara. We are going to actually introduce what we call the Bacara Bell Ritual. A little background on this, just to share what the intent is behind it, is that when you look at this land, its history, and the moment that we share hundreds of years ago, just a few miles from here, the sounds of bells echoed daily through the hills of Santa Barbara. They range from the Mission, the Presidio, calling people together for meals, for prayer, for news, for moments of reflection. Back then, the bell was not just sound, it was connection. It was meant to pause, to gather, and to be present. Fast forward to today, and though the world has changed, our need to pause and connect has not. So in the celebration of the 25th anniversary, we create this ritual is not a performance, but a shared moment. Each of the 5 chimes you'll hear represents something to invite and to reflect on. The first bell is for gratitude, for this day and this place. The second is for connection, to those beside you and those you carry in your heart. The third is for wonder, for the beauty that surrounds us. The fourth is for intention, what you wish to carry forward. And the fifth is for peace within yourself and within the world. The daily ritual special will have 10, ladies and gentlemen, actually legacy employees that worked here since day one, 25 years ago. They'll be our first bell ringers on September 16th. We're going to honor those 10 ladies and gentlemen on that day. So a very special moment for this resort coming in September. To end, I just want to thank, on behalf of our ladies and gentlemen, the Chamber for your incredible support. We're proud to stand alongside all the businesses here, all the outstanding businesses that make Santa Barbara so extraordinary. And have a great day, and thank you so much. And I'll deliver this video to you.
Thank you so much for having us here in this beautiful location. Please, I'm delighted to introduce our next presenting sponsor from LinkedIn, the extraordinary Joey Zamaya.
Hello. Yeah, the Ritz is doing a great job. You know who's not doing a great job? Some of you and the way you parked. Is it just me, or did people take up like 2 spots? Anyways, hello, my name is Joey Zamaya. I'm with LinkedIn. If you're not familiar with what LinkedIn is, I don't know what to tell you. I'd be happy to help you figure it out what it is. Hopefully you're on, you have a profile, you know what it is, but if not, we can talk. Someone cornered me in the hallway and they said, hey, are you going to share like any cool data or insights or like quotes about AI or workforce development? I said, I'm not. I just came to say, what's up? How you doing? But it did spark a thought, which the update from us is that at LinkedIn, like a lot of technology companies, we are aggressively pursuing AI innovation on our platform. So the two quotes that have stuck with me lately are, with regard to strategy, when you're planning, think big, but when you're making progress, think small. It's a really great way of framing the speed of business today. The second quote that's resonated with me relative to AI is not going to replace human beings, but the people who use AI will replace the people who do not. It's another great way of framing it. What's my point? At LinkedIn, there's a lot of things changing right now. We're redirecting our resources and our funding and our strategy to pursue this opportunity ahead of us. So we've had a lot of external changes on the platform, a lot of internal changes with our team, but the one thing that has not changed is our partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is a go-to partner for us to connect us with local decision makers, policy makers, and the community at large. Super awkward, but if you're on the Chamber staff, can you just stand up real quick? Wherever you are, stand up, don't be shy. Let's give them a round of applause for the amazing work that they do connecting all of us with the community and with each other. So thank you for letting us sponsor, and have fun.
Awesome as always, and I'm so happy to introduce our another presenting sponsor and a friend, Kristen McLaughlin from Cox Communications.
Next year, I should request not to follow Joey. Oh. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen McLaughlin, Market Vice President for Cox Communications and a proud Chamber board member. It's so wonderful to see you all here today. What a great audience you guys are. Amazing. Both the previous sponsors already stole my thunder, and thanks Kristen and the Chamber team, but I would like to thank them as well. They are incredible pulling this together. I also want to thank all of our speakers today. Mona, Laura, Roy, Peter, who's going to send us off with some chuckles and some things to think about from an economic perspective. But thank you all for being here today. We really appreciate all that you do and really the partnership in our community with our elected officials and with our university. This event is always such a powerful reminder of what's possible when government and business connect with purpose. It's a chance to highlight the impact of collaboration to ensure that our community thrives. At Cox, connection isn't just what we provide, it's who we are. We pride ourselves on the power of enabling connectivity to bring our communities closer. I look around this room and see so many valued customers, businesses, residential, and government. Thank you for choosing us. We understand that our network, technology, and services are more essential than ever, and we don't take that responsibility lightly. As technology and communication services continue to evolve more rapidly than any of us can keep up with, we're doubling down on our network resiliency, maintaining a robust and redundant network to ensure that our customers, all of you, can remain connected through unforeseen disruptions. Through continued investments in our fiber-based network, we are enhancing speed, reliability, and access to stay ahead of your needs and ensure your families and your businesses and organizations are ready for what's next. As a family-owned and operated company for 4 generations, Cox's dedication goes beyond just infrastructure and services. We invest in and partner with organizations working every day to strengthen the places we call home, including many of you here in this room. Some recent highlights include our James M. Cox Foundation grant of $250,000 to the Santa Barbara Public Library Foundation. I'm looking at Randy here. This grant is funding their second mobile library vehicle, Library on the Go 2.0, which will be hitting the streets later this year, so keep an eye out for it. We also recently awarded Cox Conserve's community sustainability grants, try saying that 3 times fast, to Elings Park Foundation. I saw Dean from afar. There he is. and to explore ecology. And just this week, our employee-led giving program, Cox Charities, awarded community grants to 4 incredible organizations for the impacts they are making here at home: the Police Activities League, Girls Inc. of Santa Barbara Channel Keepers, and the Coastal Housing Commission. So congratulations to all 4. All of us at Cox are so proud to live and work here in Santa Barbara County. Thank you for trusting us with your connectivity needs and for enabling us to be a part of the amazing work that all of you are doing to make the Santa Barbara South Coast an incredible place to live, work, and play.
And thank you, Kristen. Thank you again to all of our presenting sponsors, Cox Communications, LinkedIn, and the Ritz-Carlton Bacara. Now, I brought my list up with me just to be sure, because I love this part of the program where I really get to thank so many of the businesses who are sponsors and who are sitting here today. Our corporate sponsors are SynCal Health, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Sable Offshore, and UCLA Health. I have a great list of event sponsors, including Agilent Technologies, American Riviera Bank, Atlantic Aviation, Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck, Community West Bank, and Ed Hat. There's more. We can't do it without Google, Lure Digital, Majestic Asset Management, Marburg Industries, Marriott Courtyard and Residence Inn, Nicholson and Schwartz, Newshawk, and the Pacific Coast Business Times. And more of your beloved businesses: Santa Barbara Airport, Santa Barbara Foundation, Santa Barbara Independent, Signature Aviation, Solomon Hills, Southern California Edison, Southern California Gas, the Tobes Group, UC Santa Barbara, Verizon, and Work Zones. I did do it without my list. Very special thank you to Jay Farbman, always making us look good. Poor Lamar Nursery, beautifying the room with our beautiful plants and flowers. Our beverage sponsors, Solace by Sunstone, Marjoram Wines, and M Special Brewery. Delicious beverages today, thank you. We're so grateful for our relationship with elected officials, so many of whom are here in the room today. Let me call them out in a group, and we'll save our applause as well. But of course, we have our Santa Barbara County 2nd District Supervisor and Chair of the Board, Laura Capps. Santa Barbara County 1st District Supervisor, Roy Lee. Santa Barbara County 4th District Supervisor, Bob Nelson. Maybe I should just look at the thing. Office of the Santa Barbara County 3rd District Supervisor, Joan Hartman's office, Gina Fisher is here. And many of our City of Goleta officials, Mayor Paula Perotti, Mayor Pro Tem Stuart Kasdan, and City of Goleta Council Member James Cariaco. From the City of Santa Barbara, Mayor Randy Rouse, and Mayor Pro Tem Eric Friedman, and Councilman Oscar Gutierrez. From the City of Carpinteria, Mayor Natalia Alarcon, Mayor Pro Tem Monica Solorzano. Thank you both. And from the Office of Congressman Salud Carbajal, Deanna Villanueva. And from Senator Monique Lamone's office, Jordy Scully. From the Office of Assemblymember Greg Hart and Goleta Union School District School Board, the hardworking Ethan Bertrand. Our County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Susan Salcedo, is here. And from the SBCC Board of Trustees, the President, Jonathan Aboud, as well as Dr. Charlotte Gallup-Moore. And a very special shout out I'd like to also give to my fellow chambers of commerce throughout the county. And we have representatives from the Santa Maria Valley Chamber of Commerce, Michael Boyer and Suzanne Singh. From the Lompoc Chamber of Commerce, Devika Stalling. From the Buellton Chamber of Commerce, Kathy Vreeland. From the Solvang Chamber of Commerce, Jan Finley and Tracy Beard. And from the San Ynez Chamber of Commerce, Linda Small. Thank you all. All right, as you can see, we have an amazing group of businesses, government officials, community leaders, all here today to spend time together supporting the future of our county. Leading us in this incredible effort is our County Executive Supervisor, Mona Miyasato. Let's kick off the presentations today by welcoming Mona. Oh, executive.
There you go. Good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, is there anyone in here who gets seasick? Because I saw some of you do this, you know. So if so, you may want to avert your eyes in the first couple of minutes here. So I know these past few months have been pretty rough on a lot of us. It feels like we're on a boat during a storm with powerful waves hitting us, one right after the other, federal changes, executive orders, contraction of revenues, up and down, tariffs, no tariffs, the cost of business increasing. We're all feeling these impacts. And while the seas are rough, I just want everyone to be reminded that how resilient Santa Barbara County is, how resilient all of you are. And we're going to continue to make progress, even though it may feel like we're swimming with the sharks. And by the way, this AI video is sponsored by Dramamine, because nothing calms rough waters like a good county PowerPoint. So that's what we have today, so let's dig in. Okay, I always show this slide to remind us that we are both a suburban and a rural county. Almost half of our land is owned by the government, mostly the feds, and that's in the yellow. And about 47% is in ag, which is in the green. That leaves less than 5% for urbanized uses like housing and commercial activities, which is the orange, pink, and brown. Of our 440,000 residents, about 307,000 live in our 8 cities, and as you can see, Santa Maria is still the largest city, followed by Santa Barbara and Lompoc. Approximately 137,000 residents live in the unincorporated area, which are rural and urban areas outside of our cities. Orcutt is the largest of these communities and would rank 4th largest overall, about tied to Goleta. Eastern Goleta Valley and Isla Vista would actually rank 5th and 6th largest. Over the past 5 years, countywide population has actually declined, with the exception of Guadalupe, Santa Maria, and Goleta's been pretty stable. But statewide, the population has been held steady. So what it means is coastal counties like us are losing population as people migrate inland, likely because of housing costs. If this continues, it could be a challenge because many state and federal programs are based on population. The good news is the county's population actually grew by 0.6% over the past year, slightly outpacing the state growth. All areas saw growth except Lompoc, which experienced a slight decline. So this upward trend is encouraging and we hope it continues. Now let's look at poverty and income data. The most recent available data shows the county's median income at $96,000, which is on par with the state, and the poverty rate of 7.6%, which is lower than the statewide rate. However, none of these figures reflect housing costs, which is what Kristen talked about, which remain a significant concern. Updated 2024 census estimates are expected in September. Now, speaking of housing, the state has mandated nearly 25,000 new units countywide and in cities by 2031. In the unincorporated county alone, 460 units have already been approved. 78% of that is affordable. Over 7,200 units are in the pipeline, 20% of which is affordable. Now I'm going to segue into some general information about county government. Now the county provides a wide range of essential services. Some of them are shown here. But the question is, where does our money come from and where does it go? This chart illustrates the flow of funds. On the left are revenue sources, and on the right are how we spend it. So 35% from federal and state sources, our largest share. If you see, that flows mostly into safety net services and public safety. 29% comes from local taxes, and nearly 80% of that is from property taxes. And that flows largely to public safety. 27% from charges for services like payments to our health clinics. And if you see, that goes to different essential services. This next slide shows property values over the last 30 years. And what it shows is that property values have steadily increased over the last 3 decades, and even during the recession. We saw a sharp rise during the pandemic, which has since begun to level off. Taking a closer look, This chart illustrates real property transfers subject to the documentary transfer tax. The blue bars show the number of transactions which have declined in post-COVID and are now below pre-pandemic levels. The orange line represents the total value of those transactions, which remains higher. So, in short, fewer transactions, but at higher values. Now, if you're curious about where those properties were sold, this gives you a better idea. On the left is the average sale price per jurisdiction. And let's go ahead and zoom in on the South Coast. Here you get a closer look at these are actually all the parcels sold in the South Coast in 2024. It's represented by a yellow dot. And as you can see, the average prices throughout the South Coast range from $1.9 million to $855,000. This chart shows annual transient occupancy tax, TOT revenue, or hotel tax. The orange bar represents the actual revenue from fiscal year 23-24. The yellow is the 23-24 is actual. The one next to it, the yellow, is the estimated revenue because the final numbers haven't been posted. What's the key takeaway? Santa Barbara City leads with an estimated $35.2 million, generating as much TOT as all the other cities combined. The unincorporated county areas brought in about $22.2 million, driven by 30 hotels and 470 short-term rentals. You see a sharp increase to the county's TOT, and that's because we raised our TOT rate from 12% to 14%, and you also see Buellton, Solvang, and Carp also saw modest increases because they had voter-approved TOT hikes as well. Now this chart shows sales tax revenue over the past 10 years, with the box on the left displaying the sales tax rates. Santa Barbara has the highest rate at 9.25%. Buellton and the unincorporated county have the lowest at 7.75%, and the other cities are in between. Some key highlights: Santa Maria is the top generator of sales tax, bringing in $30.5 million. Santa Barbara City follows. The unincorporated county generates about 16.1, which is about half of these two. But if you take another look at it, per capita reveals a different story. Buellton has the highest per capita sales tax, despite having the lowest tax rate. Solvang and Santa Barbara follow, and at the bottom we see Guadalupe and the unincorporated county. So for the unincorporated areas, this reflects a lower concentration of commercial businesses, meaning many residents likely shop in nearby cities, contributing to those sales tax revenues there. Now, as we look ahead, there are signs of concern and warning, not just in our budget, but in a lot of local government budgets. We see that there's rising costs are outpacing our revenues. Our revenue growth from state, federal, and local sources is not keeping pace with rising costs. So I'll give you an example. In our capital program, construction costs for projects have surged 35% over the past 3 years, impacting our whole program. Mandated services are also more expensive, with insufficient or sometimes no reimbursement for the state or federal government. So here's another example. We've seen about the same number of children in foster care, because that's one of our duties. But more recently, these kids have more difficult and complex cases. We were just told that a 14-year-old in foster care with significant developmental needs was placed in specialized care for $35,000 every month. There's another placement we just had that was $26,000 every month. Now we didn't used to have these, but these are services that are very important, but they're not isolated cases anymore. State budget concerns: the state balanced its budget and preserved core services, thank you, but relied on one-time funds and deferrals, so those may be popping up again in the future. Federal policy impacts: there were over 192 executive orders that have been issued, some with regulatory changes and some not. A key concern for us is Medicaid funding, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And jail expansion. You'll say, didn't you just build a jail? Yes, we did. We recently opened a new jail in North County, but a lawsuit and settlement requires that we improve conditions for all inmates. So the county must either upgrade the existing South County jail or build a new one. And believe it or not, a new facility is more cost effective than renovating the old one. So that's high on our list of what we have to fund. Even with plans to close most of the South County jail, cost savings won't be sufficient to cover the costs. Okay, I want to talk about federal policy changes relating to Medi-Cal. So, as you see if you look at this chart, this relates to those with unsatisfactory immigration status, which is undocumented folks. While not yet implemented, a shift has occurred that could significantly have impacts on the local jurisdiction. Our current landscape, as you see in this chart, that 1 in 3 residents in the county have Medi-Cal, which is the public health insurance. So 1 in 3. Of those, an estimated 33,000 individuals have unsatisfactory immigration status. The county alone, our public health clinics, 7,500 of our 31 assigned clients fall into this category. Other providers are feeling the same impacts. So what's next? The state of California has filed an injunction in the matter's under court review right now, and the county's proactively working with partners like SendCal Health to see what we can do. But why does this matter to all of us in this room? I think it matters because if individuals lose access to primary care, what will happen to them? They may turn to emergency rooms for treatment and leading to increased demand and longer wait times for everybody else. And let's not forget another challenge in our county. It's the frequency of disasters. Our county continues to face frequent and diverse emergencies, testing our resilience and our responses. So what happened last month? The 911 outage caused by the fiber line being accidentally cut. An earthquake in Russia caused a tsunami warning to us. And then we had the Gifford fire in Koyama, which became one of the largest fires in California. We continue to invest, however, in our emergency response with new technology to better protect and inform the public. We're launching a new evacuation mapping tool that provides real-time visual alerts for evacuation zones. And it shows available resources like masks and distribution centers and what residents need to do and where they can go during an emergency. We're also launching a backup radio system for AM radio stations. The county has been preparing for these fiscal headwinds for quite some time now, but the pressure is building. We have a strong financial foundation, however. Our strategic reserve is fully funded. We maintain a AAA credit rating from S&P, which means it's the highest awarded to local governments. That helps us lower our borrowing costs. And our go-forward strategy involves rebalancing budgets with departments, which we're starting now, and preparing a multi-year strategy for the board to review in 2026. And we're continuing to invest in technology with new enterprise software and some AI pilot programs. And despite all these challenges, we're continuing to make progress on key initiatives. And I want to show you right now to take a quick look at what's planned for the year ahead.
The County of Santa Barbara's fiscal year 25-26 recommended budget totals $1.69 billion, reflecting on the county's continued commitment to responsible fiscal stewardship while navigating an increasingly uncertain financial landscape. This budget reflects stability amid uncertainty, sustaining progress through prudent planning. Let's dive into some of the key programs making a real impact in our community. The county is accelerating efforts to address the housing crisis by implementing several programs with the goal of increasing local housing. These include a local preference program, workforce and farm worker housing partnerships, and incentives for affordable housing development. To speed up construction and reduce costs, the county is creating pre-approved accessory dwelling unit, ADU, plans and expanding online permitting systems. The county continues its investment in interim and permanent supportive housing with over $23 million in funding. Sites like Hope Village in Santa Maria and La Posada in the Glida Valley offer 174 cabin units with wraparound services. The county continues to provide $604 million in safety net services to all residents. To help meet the need of inpatient mental health care, the county is investing $16.6 million in mental health treatment beds. Plus, farm workers, their families, and employers will be supported with direct in-person access to services and programs through the county's Mobile Farm Worker Resource Center. The county is improving criminal justice and jail services by increasing jail health care with 22 new positions and expanded mental health care. In addition, successful programs continue, helping to reduce jail stays, promote alternatives to incarceration, and relapses of criminal behavior. The county is advancing climate resiliency and sustainability by pursuing grants to fund climate action plan initiatives and installing 150 new electric vehicle charging stations. The budget includes $131 million in planned projects for this fiscal year. Recreation projects include a parking lot replacement at Goleta Beach Park, ball field lighting at Orchid Community Park, amphitheater renovations at Cachuma Lake, and restroom and infrastructure improvements at Rincon Park. Transportation projects include Bonita School Road Bridge, which serves as a connection between San Luis Obispo County and the cities of Santa Maria and Guadalupe, Phase 2 of the MODOC multi-use path, providing safer ADA-compliant access through the area, and the Santa Claus Lane streetscape to increase coastal access through the coastal corridor between the city of Carpinteria and the community of Summerland. The Regional Fire Communications Center construction was completed in fiscal year 24-25. It centralizes dispatch for fire and emergency medical services countywide. In fiscal year 25-26, construction will continue on the new probation building and improvements to the Santa Barbara South County Jail. The county is finalizing a county-wide recreational master plan to guide future park and trail development across the region. These projects will boost tourism and community wellness. Local farms now have more ways to welcome the community and enhance business with the implementation of the Agricultural Enterprise Ordinance. The County of Santa Barbara's fiscal year 2025-26 budget is all about stability amid uncertainty, sustaining progress through prudent planning, so the County of Santa Barbara can continue to deliver exceptional services so all can enjoy a safe, healthy, and prosperous life, because we are one county with one future.
Can you give a hand to Kelsey Batita? She put that together for us. Okay, I want to leave you with a final thought. And that's in Santa Barbara County, we may differ, we may debate, but we never really are truly divided. We know each other, sometimes we don't like each other, but we work through tough issues together. And I believe that most of you believe, those of you in this room, that in Santa Barbara County we're unique, because most of us think that many problems can be solved over a glass of wine or a tri-tip sandwich. So I'll leave you with this other thought, and my motto has been in these rough waters, when you can't control the storm, be the lighthouse. So let's just keep shining that light for each other and for all of us in Santa Barbara County. Thank you very much.
So much to be proud of and a lot to assimilate. That was great. Thank you very much, Mona. It's my pleasure, and I would like to introduce to the stage for the first time our 1st District County Supervisor, Roy Lee.
All right, so I have a favor to ask everybody. Let's take a selfie. I gotta show my wife this, so everybody, if you just wave and just say hi, it means a lot. So, are you guys ready? All right, ready? Wave hi, everybody. All right, and I'll take one more of everybody. All right, so whoever wants to copy that, let me know, I'll get you one. So let's get this started. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here with the Chamber today. I really appreciate the chance to spend time with people who make our economy run. Small business owners, employers, and community leaders. I want to recognize our County CEO, Mona Miyasato. Where's Mona? Mona is an incredible person who we are so lucky to have here in the county. She's my hero. I never told you that, but I am in front of everybody. When I got elected, I said I'd focus on the community, fixing problems and making this county work better for the people who live and work here every day. That's still my focus, practical solutions, not politics, maybe a little bit. So I've been in the office for about 8 months. I feel like we have accomplished a lot. Now, first, we made real progress on fire safety. We all know wildfire is a huge problem in the county, and we face it every single day. That's why we set up a pilot program at the Hot Springs Trailhead to close parking and on the trail on red flag days and after storms. It gives law enforcement the tools to act before something goes wrong. It keeps our neighborhoods safer and makes sure that firefighters can actually get what they need to when a second mattered. Next is cannabis. For years, people in Carpinteria, and I'm sure there's many here today, were just told to live with the odor. That wasn't good enough for me and the Board of Supervisors. We passed an amendment that requires every cannabis grower in Carpinteria to install and run carbon scrubbers by April 2026. No more excuses. Enough is enough. You will see change next year. On top of that, we balanced the county's budget so taxpayers are not stuck footing the bill for enforcement. Next, we made it easier to get affordable housing projects off the ground. Families need a place to live if we want a strong workforce, and employers need workers who can afford to stay here. Streamlining this project saves time and money and helps keep our economy stable. And through all this, we stayed focused on the quality of life for our residents. From parks to neighborhoods to day-to-day constituent services, these little fixes add up. People need to feel that their government is paying attention, and we are, the county is. Looking forward to the next year, there are 3 big areas that I want to keep working on. The first is infrastructure. Our local economy depends on it, whether it's safe roads, good public facilities, or broadband. Now, many of you might not know this, but right here in the county, in the Kuyama Valley, there is still no broadband at all. That means no e-commerce businesses, no remote schoolwork, and it makes it hard to use cutting-edge technology for farming. But we've been fighting this at the state level, and broadband is on track to reach Kuyama by end of 2026. That will open up real economic opportunities in rural parts of the county, and that helps the whole county. So, yay, Kuyama. Second is public safety. Fires are going to come. We all know that. The question is how ready we are. We're going to keep working with homeowners on defensible space, home hardening, and access. Safer homes mean safer neighborhoods, and less distribution for businesses when the next fire hits. And now finally, supporting local business. This is personal for me. My family and I have run a business here in the county for over 30 years. So I started when I was a kid, so I understand the paperwork, the red tape, and the hoops that you have to jump through. We want to create a local government that makes it easier to start a business, not harder. That's what I want to fix. We have shown that we can streamline permits for community events and affordable housing. Next, I want to make it easier for business to grow, whether it's cutting down permitting timelines, supporting green energy upgrades like microgrids, or helping with infrastructures that improvements that keeps your doors open and customers coming through. But most importantly, I want to keep listening. Sometimes the best ideas don't come out of government buildings, they come from you. When our business thrive, our families thrive, our whole community is stronger. So thank you for what you do every day, and thank you for letting me share a little about my work and what we're doing for our community. So I'm incredibly proud to be part of this community, and we have a bright future in our county. So thank you, everybody.
I assumed Peter needed no introduction, and he really doesn't. If you don't know Peter Rupert, where have you been? Peter is an esteemed member of the University of California community, but more importantly to us, he is not afraid to be here with us. And call it as it is. So we're looking forward to your insights into whatever shark-infested water's coming our way.
Thank you. I have to do my own technical stuff, that's fine. I don't have a video, but where's the lure people? I mean, if economists wore a lab coat, do you think we'd get on the video? I actually have a lab coat. So look, I'm not going to pull punches. There's a lot of things we have to work on. I only have 130 minutes. What's that? 13. Oh, it's a typo. So this is me. So I want to talk a little bit about things that are not in our control and things that are in our control. And by the way, I think, we all know many of our city council members. We all know our council members, our supervisors. I know them pretty well. Incredible people. I like all of them a lot. They're very well intentioned. But what we want to care about is not people's intentions. We want to care about results. And so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of those results and show you what it looks like. Hopefully Laura is going to come up last and make you feel better. So what's beyond our control? Well, tariffs. And by the way, it's just not the actual physical tariff that can be on things. It's what's happened because of these tariffs. And lots of companies are feeling the pressure from these tariffs. The Fed and inflation, I'm going to talk a little bit about that just for a couple of minutes. What I think is going to happen going forward. Everybody's very interested in that, especially many in the real estate profession. I don't have good news for you, I don't think, but that's okay. And just a quick mention about ICE. Okay, so, get it? Stop whining. This is, these are United States wine exports to Canada. As you can see, it was about $32 million back in January. Now it's zero. And by the way, if it's $2 chuck, who gives a darn? Who gives a darn? But listen, 80% of all wine in the United States comes from California. So it's $30 million just to Canada. So these things hurt us, and it's going to keep hurting us. There's nothing we can do about the tariffs, unfortunately, and that's where we are. So the Fed. Many of you may know that I worked at the Fed for a long time. This morning, it was announced that real GDP, and so real GDP is the output in the economy, or our income in the economy, they just revised it up from 3% to 3.3%. That number, as you can see, is one of the largest numbers in the last couple of years. The economy is actually really strong. And that's why I'm always sanguine about the future, simply because it's really hard to screw this up, right? That's my optimistic view. We've seen lots of good, bad presidents, bad policies, all kinds of things. My guess is today, Trump isn't happy with this report. Why isn't he happy? He wanted lower interest rates. Well, if you want lower interest rates, you don't want the economy to be booming. That's not the time to lower interest rates. So if you look at the other side of this, which is inflation, this is inflation. This is the core CPI. The core PCE comes out tomorrow. That's what the Fed looks at. But this is the latest CPI data. I can tell you they're very highly correlated. And what we've seen recently is this red line is the one I like to look at. It's about a trend. And you can see it's been trending up. This line here, that's the Fed's 2% target. And as you can see, it's moving away from the 2% target. So I think Trump is working pretty hard to fire as many people on the Fed as he can. I'm glad I'm not working there. There's too much ammunition. But this tells me that inflation's rising. It's not falling. GDP is booming, and therefore, there's actually no reason, historically, that the Fed would ever cut rates at this point. This doesn't happen. If they cut rates, it's going to be, I think, a very bad view for the United States, that basically the Federal Reserve would succumb to pressure to lower rates. So I really hope that this doesn't happen. Losing that independence would be devastating, okay? ICE. We don't have hard data. It's impossible to get. But I have taken some time to talk to some people in the agriculture business. And what they've told me is if there's some raid, pretty much in California, the closer, the more important. But what happens is about 40% of the workforce doesn't show up for 3 days, which is incredibly hard for strawberries that need to be picked very quickly. So this kind of effect, even though it hasn't affected them per se, they realize what could happen, and they don't come to work for a few days. And this is just not undocumented people. This is many, many individuals. The other bad thing I heard, which is, to me, is, sickening, that many people in North County, the kids aren't going to school because they're afraid of being separated from their parents, that their parents could be taken. It's tragic. So that's something we can fight against, and we really should be fighting really hard about that. So now's the depressing stuff, if that wasn't depressing enough. So what's within our control? Well, various regulations and policies that we put on ourselves. By the way, the state puts on some. Mona mentioned we have some executive orders that we're facing. But we've also made a lot of choices. And as I said before, many of those choices are very well intentioned. I'm not criticizing the intentions of individuals. The problem is, do these things work? And there is where you just have to look at the data. There's nothing else you can do. I'm going to talk a little bit about housing and wage policies. Okay? So these are all local things that we can take care of. So let's look at the labor market. Since 2000, San Luis Obispo County has grown employment by 35%. 35%. California, all of California, 27% growth in employment. US, 23% employment growth. Ventura, meh, that's what I say, 18%. Santa Barbara, 15%. And if you just look at the data like this is San Luis Obispo. Just astounding growth in the county. They're close to us. They've got to be doing something we're not. I don't know. By the way, I only have 13 minutes, so I'm presenting some problems. If you want solutions, it's going to cost you. That's San Luis Obispo. The green line is Santa Barbara. Not only have we not grown very much, we're now declining in the county. Okay? And these are things we can do, as Mona talked about, as Kristen talked about, to think about how it is we can bring people back into Santa Barbara. And if you look at population, which I showed last year, age 25 to 45, we're losing that part of the distribution in the population. We've lost about 15% in 20 years. We're expected to lose another 15% over the next 10 to 15 years. So that group is leaving, and that's the high employment group. So I'm not picking on this one particular thing. This is housing. This came out on Sunday. I just happened to see it. Lawsuits, annexation, and builder's remedy. What's holding up housing in Santa Barbara's North County? Look, I don't know all the details, and I'm sure there's many, but in any particular thing like this, people will say, oh, here's the reason we didn't do this, here's the reason we didn't do that, I know the answer. Build more houses. How hard is that? We know how to do it. How do I know that we know how to do it? I'll show you. This little table I got from the US Census. This is the city of Santa Barbara. This is number of housing units. In 1970, we had 29,570 housing units. In 10 years, we added 4,355. In 10 years. The next 10 years, we added 2,301. 2000, from 1990 to 2000, we added 850. Next 10 years, 745. And in the 2010 to 2020, 388 houses. Our housing supply since 1970 has gone up by less than 25%. How do I know we can build houses? Look, we built 10 times as many houses in that decade than we're building now. It's not like, oh, we forgot how to build houses. The county has done much better, actually. They've gone up by 75% since 1970. And again, they're building 20,000, 23,000, and then all of a sudden, down this one year, back up. But look, it's not like we don't know how. And many people are going to not like this particular comment, but there's a very, very good solution. It's called factory houses. The houses we built here with sticks, expensive as hell. We know that. If you look nationwide, it's not going to be here. If you look nationwide, the cost of building manufactured homes is about $90 a square foot. You got to bring them here and stuff like that. But you can buy houses much, much cheaper. In 1970, 1/3 of all new homes were manufactured homes. Today, it's 8%. There's been a huge decline in manufactured homes for lots of reasons. Again, there's always lots of reasons why we do things. This is wage policies. I had thought this had been gone to bed, but it has not. $26 minimum wage for agricultural workers. It was floated about, well, here you can see it. Farm workers push for $26 an hour in Santa Barbara County. This came out last year. We just got a few calls recently. It's kind of back. So there's a friend and I he's done a lot of work. He's an agricultural economist at Arizona State. He actually looked at this, did a bunch of work on it. I trust it. It's super good work. Let me show you what happens at $26 an hour for agricultural workers. By the way, all of us want to help agricultural workers. Don't get me wrong. I understand their problems. Low wages, hard to get jobs, et cetera, all this stuff. So let's help them. Does $26 an hour help them? Let's look. Sorry about this, but this is the table from the paper. It's going to be coming out. It's going to come out first in an op-ed. You're the first to see these numbers. So this is if you impose a $26 minimum wage. Let's look at strawberries. This is per acre. This is the revenue that comes in per acre for strawberries currently. That's the cost. What's the probability of of all strawberries leaving Santa Barbara County if it's a $26 minimum wage? See that number? 100%. Strawberries will be gone from Santa Barbara County, all of them. Wine grapes, guess what? They're going to probably stay. And you know what else is going to stay? Livestock. Broccoli's gone, cauliflower's gone, head lettuce is gone, leaf lettuce, celery, blackberries, all gone. Is this a big deal? We just hurt all the employees. We just hurt all the farm workers. They don't have jobs. Funny story, I talked to somebody in Ventura, and they're like, you know what? He was an agricultural guy. He goes, it's $26 an hour. That would be fantastic if Santa Barbara passes that. I'm like, dude, what? He's like, because then we're going to grow more strawberries. We're going to have all this strawberry production. And how much is that, by the way? Well, these are all those things just in a graph that you can see. All of them are gone. No production in Santa Barbara County. Is it a big loss to the county? Well, let's look. How much does strawberries lose? $800 million. $800 million gone. And you look at the rest of them, 86 million, 84 million, 70. This is monstrous for our county. Now, can we figure out something? Well, at $20 an hour, half of them leave. Okay, even at $20 an hour. We also did that scenario. So what's the issue? The issue is, well, what if strawberry prices go up? Sure, but you know what? We're competing with other counties and other places to buy strawberries. Vaughn's is not going to buy strawberries from Santa Barbara if they're twice the price of Ventura. So the argument that you can raise prices of strawberries is wrong. We're not going to be able to do that. Okay? So these are things we can control. We can decide whether or not $26 an hour or $20 an hour is the right number, but know the cost. And the cost is devastating, not just to our county, but to all those individuals who lose their job. Okay? So I told you it was depressing. But thank you, I'm done. Thank you.
never shy, always willing to give us something to think about. Thank you very much, Peter, and I can't wait to talk about that afterwards. Our final segment, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We've invited to the stage the County Supervisor, Chair of the Board, Laura Capps, and she's devoted her career to public service. She's a home girl, went all the way to Washington, came back. She was a speechwriter. She worked for President Clinton. She's a communication director for John Kerry's presidential campaign. She's an advisor to the U.S. Senate. She was part of Al Gore's climate change organization for 6 years. She served here as a board, Santa Barbara Unified District Board of Trustees. We're honored to have her for a chat. Oh, so much to talk about.
Yeah, after all that good news,
Let's
maybe
not
we should-
start with Rupert. Let's save that for a minute. Let's maybe start with a macro view of the county from your perspective. Mona did a fabulous job on the numbers, a lot to assimilate. As a supervisor, as the leader of that group, how do you summarize that?
Thanks, Randy. And I just want to thank the Chamber and my colleagues, Roy, Bob, Mona. We are so lucky to have Mona as our captain, as you can tell. Yeah, thank you. I'm a people person, so I'm going to answer this in a people way. I'm going to double down on the word resilient. But I see Santa Barbara, and we need to be resilient right now, given all of the headwinds, given all the news we've just got, given Peter's numbers. We have to be resilient. But I see Santa Barbara County as people who show up, people who care, during a time that's really chaotic, really divisive. Yet even with all the activism, what I see is peaceful protests, respectful. Bob and Roy and I get to watch as people come to our board hearings. I know Randy and others get to see the same. As much as it's heated and intense right now, we still got it under control. So I just want to say that I believe at this time in history that when we look back, Santa Barbara County is going to write a different story, that we're problem solvers, and you as business people know what that's like. It's one thing to be right. It's easier to be right? But it's harder to be effective. And I think that your Board of Supervisors, if I can brag as the chair, we reflect that spirit. There's 5 of us. We come from very different backgrounds. You read a little bit of mine. You kind of know where my politics are. Yet the person that I often partner the most with is Supervisor Nelson, who is the most conservative on the board. We work together often, and it's great. It's fantastic. That's how government should work, especially on the local level, where you elected us to just get stuff done. So I think Santa Barbara County is resilient and strong, and right now that's exactly what we need. And we need government to make your lives better, because it's very, very uncertain out there, but it's steady and strong here in Santa Barbara.
Thank you. And I often brag about our region being able to have this kind of a meeting with a range in this room of people with ideas and enjoy each other's conversation and share ideas and grow and work towards solutions. So the Chamber shares that ambition with you and appreciates the support. But Mona talks about the stability in uncertain times and a budget for the county, and so I can't read the crystal ball if there is one for federal funding, and how do you read that, the funding and the budget part of what's coming up?
Yeah, well, if there's something that I'm proud of, that we passed a budget, $1.6 billion. We've made a lot of smart investments. So as much as it's daunting, given the federal and state landscape, we've made so many smart investments, and we're in a far better position than we could have been otherwise. And frankly, that other jurisdictions that have already started layoffs and already started really pulling back and started making cuts. So if I may, I would like to give one example that I'm personally very passionate about. We've talked a lot already about housing. It's clear affordable housing is our #1 crisis. I don't need to repeat what's been said, but I just hear it from business owners, how hard it is to hire and retain workers. It touches every aspect. So one piece of it, I want to applaud the Chamber one more time. It was spoken about at the beginning for the consortium on on employee-sponsored housing. That's the kind of innovation we need, where you all band together to provide subsidies, be really smart. Cottage Hospital has led the way, so many good examples. But I just want to give you one example that the county has invested on that was in our budget that I think provides a sign that with this housing crisis and the numbers that Peter showed of the lack of building, I see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to the lack of building and the affordability crisis. I think that we are making real progress, and our piece of it is government-owned land. The government has a lot of underutilized land. That's been my piece, that's been my passion. The county, it turns out, has about 6,000 acres of underutilized land that I believe passionately should be turned into affordable housing. And so we're already doing it. We have 300 units that are in the pipeline. Santa Barbara Unified School District, where I worked before this, they're already working on a few hundred units. So we need to take underutilized government-owned land, because you take away the price of the land, you can do it affordably, you can make it pencil out. And that's my pledge, that government needs to have skin in the game on this whole crisis. I think that every city, every transit organization, every school district within our county that owns land, it needs to be looked at. Could this be used for housing? I drive by the DMV parking lot on Castillo. It's mostly empty. It's like 80% empty. These things drive me crazy. And that's the thing where if you have ideas of underutilized parking lots that you might be aware of, that's the kind of stuff we want to know, because I think we have to solve this. And it's literally, it's housing, it's local, it's one parcel at a time.
Thank you, yeah. And you shared another example with me about an implementation of a tool. Can I pull that out of you? Because I just felt like that was a model we've advocated for, and the county has started it. Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, streamlining, we need government to work, right? And that's our piece of it too. We have to acknowledge that it's too hard to do things. It's too costly. Bob and I work on this a lot, and I acknowledge it. It's too expensive for you all to build. It's too expensive to get stuff done, as well as, and I agree with Peter, intentions are one thing, results are another. And I'm going to be the first to say, it doesn't matter what, I don't want to defend the process. I want to look at the results. And if it took you 9 months to get something simple done, and you have a better solution. So one bright spot that was in the video was that the county now has pre-approved plans for ADUs. Who's interested in building an ADU? ADUs are such a great way to help us get out of this housing crisis. And right now, the county has pre-approved ADU plans. So you go to the county, you can pick out a pre-approved, if it's something you like, you save about $25,000. It gets a little bit more fast-tracked because it's already been pre-approved. You don't have to hire as many people, et cetera. So that's right up on the website. And 300 people are taking advantage of that right now.
Great. Is that double the number this year? Anyway.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot in terms of housing units. So,
yeah,
right.
It's great.
Well, I feel like I might get in trouble if, as the chair of the board, I didn't bring up economic thriving and economic development and how we can collaborate together. And I wonder what ideas you might share with us about developing initiatives for the thriving of the entire county that we can help with.
I mean, I love, kids and schools are near and dear to my heart. Susan Salcido is nodding along here, but the workforce development is what and I know the Chamber, I'm proud to support the new effort there with this new grant, but really making sure that we have a pipeline of workers. I love that video of sitting here, knowing that we have all these amazing companies, we have all this amazing talent, we have such good schools, we need to just connect those two. And the more that we can partner, the more that the county can be more active in making sure those connections happen. Because a lot of it is just connections. I know that a lot of companies already are doing the internships, are doing the mentoring. all of that is just people to people, making sure that, and changing lives, really. Making sure that kids who, want to stay in Santa Barbara, but don't have an idea that they could possibly get a job that would allow them to afford it. That's what we need to do, and it's really person by person.
And I would say that's how I got to be involved in the chamber.
Yeah.
And I came from tech. I've hired people for 38 years. We have a lot of geniuses in the region.
Yeah.
And I love it. And we have a tech academy, but the kids that can learn to keep the tech machines going
Exactly.
don't know that there's a great job.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying to do. So
Right, and that's what I
we
learned
agree.
at Google AI. They might not need all the PhDs, but they definitely need the tech folks. And they
That's right.
need the folks out of City College. They need the folks out of our Allen
And
Hancock.
This wasn't supposed to be a commercial, but the Chamber's doing a program on this. You might watch our program of work because we're bringing together interns that have done exactly that. So,
Yeah.
and we agree, and we want to do it up and down the region. Any final things that we didn't cover that you want to make sure we cover today?
Just how accessible I hope you feel that your government is. I think, we're all kind of on a first name basis here. I just love, it's a warm room, it's a warm environment, we know each other. And if you all have ideas, I think economic development also just relies on collaboration. And if we're not doing something as a board of supervisors that you think we can, I think you can tell from Roy's comments, he's pretty accessible too, wants to listen. We're here. We should, tell us what we're not doing, tell us what we should be doing, and we want to do it.
And I felt like, as you started, we don't always agree, but I do feel like I've always been heard.
Oh, good.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, that's something, we can't always say we're going to fix whatever, or we're going to get you the exact answer that you want, or agree with the permit exactly. But my pledge is always, we're going to get you the answer quickly. That's because I just understand with business, the uncertainty is the challenge, right? When you're just waiting and you're languishing, that's
or
not
ignored.
good.
That's right. So, and I feel like the county has made big, the ADU rules, some other implementations of AI, like things you guys have done. Very exceptional. Thanks for that. You brought a group of young leaders.
I did.
Do we have them? Where did they go?
Right back there.
Okay. Do you want to do a quick introduction? And
I do. Well, I always try to think from my time on the school board, what's good for our county, what's good for our kids is always good for our county. So I've been really active with Girls Inc. I know many of you probably are as well. And so we asked Girls Inc., what should our leaders, you in this room, fix? And they're here, but they also did a video. So I think we're ready for the video.
Hi, my name is Mia. Hi, my name's Ava. My name's Rupert. My name is Harper. My name is Camila. My name is Mia. Leilani. Shizelle. Olivia. Chelsea. Nona. My name is Charlie, and I am 9 years old. I am in kindergarten. 10 years old. If I was in charge of the community, I would fix climate change.
I want the leaders to focus on our safety, specifically like mental health, and making sure we have resources to help improve our mental health.
Making sure that everyone's comfortable with where they are and don't feel like that they can hide who they are. They can try to be their whole self. Clean up the beaches. Changing the environment and treating everyone fairly.
To be included, people getting taken by immigration, that's not right.
I would spread kindness and clean up our community. More access to food and the prices.
If I were in charge of my community, I would fix housing prices.
I want the leaders here to focus on the kids. I want the leaders here to focus on building more housing. Keeping children safe and babies safe.
Inclusivity, so making sure everyone is being heard.
I wish that everyone in the world would be so kind to everyone and every person.
Thank you. I think I see some leaders in elected office.
Let's have them stand up.
Stand up, ladies.
Ava, Liani.
I hope you'll go and say hi to them and tell them what you do, right? Do you remember when you were that? Would you have come to a room like this when you were that age? I wouldn't have. But one of the things we found out today is people don't know the amazing things that happen in our county. And we got to brag about it today.
That's true.
So thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing that.
And thanks for giving the opportunity to learn. It's really important in this day and age. We just have to keep an open mind and keep hanging in there with each other.
Great. Well, I think we're between all these good folks in the bar.
That's right.
That's always a dangerous place to be. If I understand the protocol correctly, those table pieces are available. Is that right? Team? They're available. So I'm going to say you get to Rochambeau for those. Winner takes the flowers and as a memory of today. And we are looking forward to meeting you at our next event. Also, Galita hosts an event here. We're doing a tech roundtable to talk about those tech jobs. And we appreciate that you spend some time with us this afternoon. So, and be safe on your drive home.